Welcome back to the Struggle Communication Group Thunderdome for another bull. Andy Carlson, Minnesota 87 best weekly podcast show about everything and absolutely nothing at all. Coming right at you 1 day a week. Sin Shotgun is Uncle Nick. Give him a follow on Twitter at Nickason. How's it going, Nick?
Good, thanks for having me.
Glad that you're not in prison.
I'm glad I'm not in jail either.
Even with St. Patty's Day coming up. Tell a friend, spread the word, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Yeah. Now, per usual, Nick, do you remember the song at all?
Yeah, I know the band, Dream. I had crushes on them. They kind of was just, they had that one song, He Loves You Not, and then they did this, and I think that was it.
Yeah, I think they broke up.
And like, they tried coming back together a few years ago, because I think a bunch of them are married and have like kids and stuff, and like they got together like freaking moms and tried to do like a acoustic "She Loves Me Not" thing, and that was pretty cool. But then, like, yeah,
What was it cool though?
I thought it was cool.
I was like the short brunette. Yeah, not that one. Like the third banana of this group. So like the Aldi Dop of Black Eyed Peas equivalent.
The Filipino.
Yeah, sure, why not? So today on the show, we're going to talk about 90s nostalgia, per usual, as well as talk about the Full House, Felicity Huffman college entrance scandal, which is just freaking hilarious. So, Nick, get that one ready. We'll talk about that in the A block. And then also, Nick has not watched the Avengers Endgame trailer, so we're going to get his reaction in real time. And I'm also going to be very annoying and stop it every 2 seconds and ask questions, because that's what I do. Some of you should do. Josh Belter Remix preferred. Buying, selling, real estate, slanging that land, because there's it's good to own land. So you should buy some with Josh Belter. He's your guy. Or you want to offload some and cash in. He's your guy as well. It's a seller's market. Well, is it anymore? But it doesn't matter. But, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a house in the Twin Cities market or greater Minnesota, give him a call, 763-213-4617, joshpelto.com, Josh Pelto Remax preferred. I don't know who this guy is. Kane. Actually, maybe I like the blonde.
I like the blonde.
Yeah, you would. So, there you go. So, Nick, what do you want to do first? You want to do college, or do you want to do the trailer?
Trailer.
All right, let's do the trailer first. Of course, Nick's been chomping at the bit. So, you really didn't watch this at all?
I did not. I think it just came out today.
Well,
it was either last night or first thing this morning.
Here's the thing. Most people have jobs, except for truck drivers, where they can just watch videos all day at work, and a lot of people do. And I feel like between your lunch breaks and after work and here, you would have made time for 2 minutes and 35 seconds since you're this supposed huge Marvel fan.
You think I would have had time, but I did not. Today was a little busy.
Did you see Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Oh, we'll get your reaction on that too in a sec. But let's all right, so let's play the trailer. So I will try and piece together what I think happened.
Wait, you have seen the Avengers, right? At least I feel like you at least seen the Avengers, right?
Hold on. So I've seen Black Panther. It was delightful. I've seen Thor 1 and 3. Thor 3 was phenomenal. I've seen all the Guardians movies. They're great. I saw the first Iron Man. I saw like the middle 20 minutes of Ant-Man, and that is it.
Middle 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So Civil War, did not see. Winter Soldier, did not see. Heard it sucked.
No.
Oh, is that the best one?
That's one of the best ones, actually.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I saw Wonder Woman.
No. No.
All right, but from my understanding, so this entire MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, was leading up to the Infinity War. Wars or war?
War.
All right, and Thanos, who's just Josh Brolin, who looks like he's been strangled with a goatee, and he gets all these jewels together, and he kills off half the people, which is kind of an arbitrary number. Like, why is that half?
Yeah, his logic behind all this, spoiler it if anyone's listening to this, was that was Thanos believed that in order to control the universe's population, like overpopulation stuff, try to to secure, natural resources, you had to get rid of half the population.
That's dark. It's also very meta.
It is dark and very meta, and that's like, oh God, I want to hate him, but man, there are always some days where I'm like, I can deal with Minnesota being cut in half. I'm sorry, I can.
Well, I mean, we have a pretty sparse state as it is, like especially if we get outside the metro.
Yeah, but the metro needs to lose some people. There's some crazy drivers out there.
But see, that's the thing about the metro is that it isn't inhibited by like coasts or water or mountains, so it can just keep growing.
I can.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. All right, so let's start this thing.
Seems like 1,000 years ago.
All right, so that is Iron Man.
Clips of looks like the first movie. Yep.
Okay, did he just test out his suit and he crashed?
Yep.
That's unfortunate. All right.
Fought my way out of that cave. Became Iron Man.
Oh yeah, wasn't he in like Afghanistan?
Yeah, he was kidnapped and stuff, and like I think they kidnapped him to like make him do technology, and he created an Iron Man suit to escape.
Was he rescued by SEAL Team 6?
No, he was rescued by himself. He built an Iron Man suit.
Oh, there you go.
Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
All right, so who's dead?
Oh, man.
Black Panther, Spider-Man,
Yes, dead.
Raccoon,
Alive.
Groot.
Dead.
Ah, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he's stuck in space.
He is stuck. He was stuck on the planet Titan. He went to go battle Thanos, and then
Wait, isn't Titan a moon?
I believe it's not the same one. This is the one where the home planet of Thanos. I think that was called Titan.
All right. Now this is Captain America.
Yes.
All right. I thought he was Canadian.
No.
Oh no, that's Wolverine. Never mind.
The world has changed. None of us can go back.
Wait, what was the deal with all the stuff around the Statue of Liberty?
I don't know. That went too fast. I was looking at other stuff. Sorry.
The world has changed.
I was trying to think who this voice is.
None of us can.
Looks like a lot of boats. I'm not sure.
So
what
all
this-
the boats just crashed because they were unmanned after
They
the logo?
must. Yeah.
Is that what's implied?
I like the maybe the Statue of Liberty is now a beacon of like where survivors go.
Now, do people know that Thanos killed them,
Honestly, I don't think the world population knows that. No.
or was it just like, hey?
I think it was only the superheroes that knew what was going on.
So is it like that one show that was supposed to be good, the Leftovers, where it was like the Rapture?
I think so. I kind of think that's what's kind of going to be happening.
Wait, so is it possible that the Rapture or the Leftovers and this occurred in the same universe?
Possibly.
Go back. All we can do is.
All right, now he wasn't in the last one, Jeremy Renner.
He was not.
Why?
Because of what the events of, and you haven't seen Civil War yet.
Yep.
But because of the events of Civil War, he had to take a plea deal, and he had to
Set up the next movie.
He had to surrender to and stay locked in what do you call it? House arrest with his family in order to be with his family.
So Jeremy Renner had a contract dispute, is what you're saying.
He was busy with other stuff. I think he was doing Mission Impossibles and whatnot.
They try and keep inserting Jeremy Renner into all these franchises. Like he was in a Bourne movie.
Yep.
He's in Mission Impossible. Is he supposed to take over for Tom Cruise?
No.
It's our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is
Are they together?
No.
All right.
start over.
All right. Who died?
That was a scene from. God, they're throwing in cutscenes from other movies. That was from Civil War. That's representing the death of Captain America. Like the first movie, he fell in love with the one female lead chick, Betty something, and
Draper.
no, and she obviously she had she kept living and she died of old age. Because he froze in time and
Yeah.
So like it was like dealing with her death, and he carried her body in the funeral.
Now, when he came and saw his old lady becoming an old lady, was he still like, hey?
Not really. It was more like a love of like a son to his mother, honestly. But like there was hardly anything because it was heartbreaking. Because I think that was in Winter Soldier is that she had amnesia or she had Alzheimer's. So like she kind of knew she was talking to the Captain America, but she kind of didn't, And I think that.
Wait, that's the plot of The Notebook. They stole that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing.
All right, to go.
All right. Who was he?
That's Falcon, friend of Steve Rogers.
All right.
I saw all these people die.
Thor and the Olsen twin.
Yeah, Olsen twin.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do. But not us.
Now,
He's still Hulk.
okay.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this.
Is there any new characters that are going to be introduced last second, or is it everyone from all the previous movies?
I'll tell you at the end of this trailer if we see it.
Everyone who's not in this room to try.
Because there's supposed to be someone new. Okay,
Yeah, Rocket. Yeah.
Okay, Rocket's still alive, and I thought they killed him. I thought they killed off War Machine, but he might still be alive. Oh, that could just be a robot suit.
Random. So War Machine is also the name of a former MMA fighter, low-level guy, wasn't in the UFC. But also he did porn on the side, and he was dating this porn star named Christy Mack, and then he basically tried to murder her. So now he's in jail.
Oh.
And that is the end of my story there.
We will.
Whoa.
What's the deal with the haircut?
It's obvious that...
Is it part of the story?
No, from what I can tell...
Thanos snapped and half of his hair went?
No, from what I can tell, he went off the deep edge. That's kind of what is hinted at when you see Hawkeye, because obviously family is very important to him. He has a wife and I think 2 or 3 kids that no one really knows. So I think they died. So I think he goes ape shit crazy. Hence he turned all taxi driver.
Well, what's he gonna do about it then? It's like, all right, I'm gonna kill Thanos, or I'm gonna be with Thanos.
I think he's gonna kill everyone. That's almost what I'm thinking they're gonna hint at. Like he was.
Hawkeye's the bad guy.
I don't know because there's one of the trailers you see him he doesn't look like his old self, and you see Scarlet Widow like approaching him and stuff. Like it's almost like he lost who he is.
Whatever it takes.
Ant-Man's back. Okay. Nebula.
Whatever it takes.
I don't know.
Whatever it takes.
That's him. All right. Is he running out of food and oxygen?
I think so. So the first Endgame trailer was kind of him, doing his will and test. Like you hear his voiceover, like trying to apologize to Pepper Potts.
Takes.
So Steve Rogers.
And they all have the stupid suits now.
Yeah, and they're all together again. It looks like you see because Nebula was with Tony Stark in space, and everyone else was stuck on Earth. So somehow they got back. Spoiler right there. But we're missing something, which I think will be right after this.
There's end credits after the stupid trailers.
Maybe. Let's see it.
Wow.
Yep, there she is.
Oh, so that's Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel came back.
I like this one.
So, yeah.
All right. Smooth segue. What was your review of Captain Marvel?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really fun movie, which obviously is tying into the Avengers Endgames. Because it was an origin story of this woman, Carol...
Khaleesi.
No. Carol Dangers, I believe, or something, whatever her name is. Carol. This is what...
Naga, not going to work here anymore.
It was an origin story from the 90s, or from the late 80s, early 90s, and like coming back to Earth, and you meet a very young Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson. So you kind of see this like
Is it Samuel L. Jackson CGI'd?
Yes, but it looks real. But you can't tell. It looks really good. Like
They should have had Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson.
I was reading some Easter egg stuff, and they said that they kind of did a reference to that movie, but I didn't notice it.
Who's the villain?
In that movie, it is. If I spoil it,
Don't care.
it's what's his name? Jude Law.
Oh,
Jude Law plays the surprise bad guy. The commander, like her commander, when she works with the Krulls, when she doesn't realize that she lost her memory and she gained these superpowers, but doesn't realize that like he's manipulating them to like these are the real enemies, and it's one of those kind of origin story type of things. Like soft, like I've been trained to so and so battle you guys, and like no, you don't understand. Just so and so, this is how it was, and this is what your life was like, and so, and like so she's like on Earth, '90s Earth. I mean, so if you like nostalgia, blockbuster video, like internet jokes, the movie's full of them.
why are there so many references to like recently? Like, there's one blockbuster left, and I feel like it's been in the news a lot.
Because I think there was actually like half a dozen left. I think I heard at least 4 that were still operating, and then they closed all those ones down. Which is kind of silly because I live in Fridley. Well, spoiler alert, I live in the northern suburbs, and there's a movie rental store up there. So, I mean, the movie rental stores still exist. It's just that the name Blockbuster, one of the most popular ones of the 90s, I remember that, and like Video Update, Mr. Movies was kind of the 3 de facto ones that were in me growing up in Roseville. The places, we used to go all the time. They're all just gone now.
Now, I've read some of the reviews, and it's interesting because Captain Marvel is sort of like the female Ghostbusters, where are people criticizing it because they don't like strong female characters, which is probably not the case, or is it just a bad movie? And then people who really like the movie get defensive about it and be like, "Hey, you don't like the movie because it's a strong female character."
I don't think people are used to the acting that is Brie Larson.
We saw Room. It was like, put her back.
I've never seen Room at all. I just don't think people are used to her yet. She's still pretty new.
Did she win an Oscar?
Yeah, I think she won it for The Room.
Oh, well.
Room. The Room was.
Tear me apart, Lisa.
And I don't know, like she has a very deadpan sense of humor here, and I think a lot of people, it rubbed people the wrong way. I listen to KQ sometimes in the morning, and the reviewer of the Captain Marvel movie said it was a fine movie. They just he wasn't a big fan of Brie Larson. I just don't think people get her.
But
yet.
other than the main character, which the entire movie is based around, it was a hoot.
It was. I thought it was a great film. I kind of want to see it again.
Where would you rank it? Like
Out of all of them?
How many? All right. So how many Marvel movies have there been?
I think we're at 20, 21-ish.
All right. Give me your top 3 and bottom 3.
Okay, bottom 3 would be easier than top 3 because I'm still kind of, type of crap. Got Thor 2.
Yeah, Thor 2 sucked.
What's it called?
I didn't even see it, but I'm aware.
One of the probably Iron Man 2 and 3. Yeah, I would do that.
Because Iron Man was the first movie, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, oh no, I'm just not a big fan of this character one. I didn't think the movies were done right. Yeah, that's how I do it. Those were the worst ones. The best ones, if you include the Avenger movies, because I mean, those are just such blast them, shoot them up. Nothing needs to make sense type of thing. That's really, it'd be really hard because Black Panther was amazing. Civil War was incredible because so much stuff happens. I mean, you get so much storyline and like so much character changes. And Guardians of the Galaxies, both 1 and 2, I love them both. If you take the Avenger movies out, I would maybe go. I go Guardians 2. I would go Civil War, maybe Winter Soldier.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. But it's a good. Captain Marvel's a good middle, upper, maybe top 10 for me. Maybe
pretty
at 10.
decent.
Yeah.
All right. That's good enough for me. Nick, actually, we'll dive into the news. I want you to lead off with the college stuff, but I'll tell you folks about the Strother Communications Group because unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I understand them because they know you and your product and your business. It's very unique. It's time that the world does too. The B2B marketing experts at the Strother Communications Group will get your message exactly right and make it easy, make it flashy, make it consumable, unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because who watches that? Put your message in motion with a multi-channel marketing campaign to make your products stand out. To find out more, go to scgpr.com, the Strother Communications Group. All right, Nick, let's do a little news. Oh,
Hello.
Doesn't care
wrong one.
about black people.
Ain't got time to believe.
You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Nick.
All right, Nick, what's going on? Shama-lama ding
All
dong.
right. The biggest news story of the week, a serious news story, is the college admissions cheating scandal, which CNN's calling it. It's probably one of the biggest ever prosecuted in the United States via CNN. It was a scheme in which a number of rich, wealthy families were paying this CEO of this college prep admissions guy, this company called The Key. He got kids into these higher end schools. I don't looking at the list. I'm not talking like all like Harvard or Yale, Stanford is kind of involved, but like smaller colleges like Wake Forest, University of Texas, Georgetown. Using finances it's a really messed up scheme where you either you bribe the SAT, ACT scores, you get someone else to do the test for you to make your kid look smarter, or they went as far as to bribe coaches and then do manipulation like via Photoshop where you make the kid seem like he's an athlete and then they get the kid on like to join the school and be like in the crew of so-and-so, like a row team or something, and get these people in. So it's just, wealthy people paying off the right people to get the kids a college degree, to get them into college when they shouldn't be. And, what's obviously making big headlines is there's actually famous celebrities in here on the two.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, Felicity Huffman and Aunt Becky, like, I don't even know her name, aren't Felicity Huffman's pretty legit, but Laura Laughlin's like, hey, congrats, you're on Full House back in the day. So she's like, maybe I just said her name, even though I said that very flippantly that I didn't know her name. But she's like a D-list celebrity. I'd say Felicity Huffman's probably like a B+. So the fact that if this scandal didn't have those two quasi celebrities involved, and it was just a bunch of rich people paying off, sneaking ways to get their kids into schools that they don't really deserve to, which, by the way, it's something that we've known about, or it's like, it's a part of, it's like folksy corruption. It's like the NCAA paying athletes under the table, like the booster,
Yep.
Giving a kid $50,000 is like, hey, come play at Texas A&M, we'll buy you a Trans Am. And it's like something that we just turn a blind eye to because, frankly, we don't care. But man, when it's something as in depth as this, I want to know why they went to this many lengths to have this happen. Because, all right, so the main guy who earned like $25 million or raised $25 million throughout all these scams of bribing people and selling it to future rich people with dumb kids, where it was like, why did it have to be this complicated? Why can't the parents just like back in the day give $100,000 to a school and name like some hallway after them, which would be very confusing. It'd be Felicity Huffman Hallway Hall. Because that stuff goes on all the time, and is this going to be a full-on indictment of the college admission process? Oh, well, we don't really know because we went to a state school. Because
Right?
Man, how dumb would your kid have to be if they had to bribe your way into Winona State?
I know. I thought about that. I thought about that too. I'm like, some of the numbers here for these people. I know for Lori Laughlin, it's like $500,000 to get through these schools. I'm like, there's no freaking way. But I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about Winona State. I'm not even talking about U of M. Stanford and Yale. I mean, those are well-known Ivy League schools. But I mean, the lesser-known but still popular. The only reason I know Wake Forest is goddamn March Madness is coming up. Georgetown, I only know about that because of March Madness crap like that. So I mean, these are higher-end. I'm assuming these are all higher-end universities that are obviously quite expensive to get into, but probably very competitive. And every parents will argue. They want their kid to have that edge. They want their kid to have big success. First thing, if you have $500,000, I think you're successful enough. I'd say, why not just give that to your kid and be like, hey,
well,
you can live a good life.
Here's my whole thing too: is like why wasn't if you're really this concerned about the kid getting into a prestigious school, so why don't you take time to help them out with academics or community service or hire someone to help them out? Like there's plenty of SAT, ACT prep things that you could do, and also just putting in time so to make sure that your kid isn't dumb and actually has a legit chance of getting in. But no, we'll just do this. And it's like once a kid gets into school, like given their academic record or how much they actually care, like what are the chances they graduate anyways? Or is it just, hey, we need you to get in so that we can say, so child's going to Yale. Because, I mean, Felicity Huffman wasn't, or Aunt Becky wasn't even the largest one. Because wasn't there one where they paid $2 million to have one of the girls be like a fake soccer recruit to get into Yale?
I didn't hear that story, no.
Yeah, but that's redonkulous, man. It's like your kid doesn't belong in this school, probably going to fail out anyway, so what's the point? So why don't you just, I understand, like, there's probably plenty more cash where that came from, but take that $2 million. If the kid wants to start, like, a company or something, just punt it there. Whatever.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people fired. I mean, as I said, what made this plot kind of brilliant, I'll give this guy, William Rick Singer, so get used to his name because you'll hear his name in news for quite a while because I'm sure he's going to go down for the blunt of this. He paid off everyone. This is pretty much good. It reminded me of Goodfellas, where sort of Goodfellas. Well, when they do the Lufthansa heist, where they get everyone involved and they say they're going to pay everyone off, but obviously in the end, freaking De Niro goes and backstabs everyone. Sorry for another day.
Well, that's because everyone was being dumb with the cash.
Oh yeah, buying the cars right away, buying the furs. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they paid off. They paid off SAT people, ACT people. I said they pay off the coaches. I mean, the admission people. I mean, they got everyone paid off. A lot of people got rich, so I think a lot of people are probably going to get in trouble. So far, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of reactions yet. I mean, I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen with the kids. I mean, do you think the kids knew about this? I bet some did. Well, I would love the kids who did not. It would be hilarious.
Well, I bet some did, but also, yeah, and the ones that did probably didn't care because they're probably used to the parents just full on like doing things for them. And the whole on thing about like the Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky's kid, is that she was already super famous on social media beforehand, and she only wanted to go to USC to party. It's like, lady, just go party at Arizona State, just like everyone else with all the other dummies. Just do that up. Or hey, here's the thing. You can just hang out with your USC friends at the parties and at the football games and not have to go to school. Yeah. Plus, USC is like $50,000 a year, I want to say. Actually, let's look that up. USC, because tuition. Because it's a private school.
Is it weird that, like...
Oh, $50,000, nailed it. Sorry, go ahead.
Is it weird that I just feel so heartbroken by it because... I don't know why, because it wasn't like Full House was my favorite show, but a show I grew up with, and I really liked Aunt Becky, and I could care less if this was Felicity Huffman, like, because I went in and watched whatever fuck show she's on. What was her show? The Practice, or no, Teenage Housewives, Desperate Housewives, or whatever she came from. I'm more affected by Becky because she was just that like that mother figure. We both know you're not doing that, Stamos.
John Stamos here.
I don't know those people. He's mouthing that. He's not singing. I don't want my wife.
She looks a lot like the daughter. Back in the day.
I don't know the daughter. Should I Google her?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Aunt Becky daughter.
Olivia Jade.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, she's a good-looking gal, and she had like 2 million Instagram followers because she does makeup tutorials or something.
You mean 2,000,001? Hang on.
Nah, I'm bored. I'm bored now. All right. What's next?
Hang on, I'm just clicking. All right, 1.4 million more. Okay, thank you. All right. So I had to follow someone. All right, Fox local news story. The Accio Gun Club. I saw this news article, I think a week ago. Introduced a new gun that's available, a cell phone pistol.
And gun.
It's a double barrel 380 Derringer. So if I remember that stuff correctly, if I remember my
Is it Derringer like a little snub nose detective's pistol?
Yeah. So I think this one can shoot 2 bullets, I believe. Yeah. So if so a cell phone that transforms apart, this is like a transformer toy that goes from like a cell phone like large case thing to a gun and can fire 2 bullets. I think is amazing.
See, anyone with 2 cell phones, anyways, I'm automatically suspicious of. And I know people are like, well, I got a phone for work and I got a phone for personal use. It's like, well, shut up. What about that phone that looks like a gun? Yeah, what about that one? Yeah, the thick one. Yeah, that one that doesn't look like any iPhone or Samsung or even Huawei phone out there. Yeah, the really thick one that kind of looks like a gun. Yeah, I'm suspicious of that one.
It is designed to be used in close quarters for self-defense because it only holds 2 rounds. It was so funny, and I don't know why I care so much about this, but it doesn't talk about like the cell phone quality. Can I make calls with it or what?
I actually wonder if it does do anything else.
Yeah. If it does, yeah. I mean, that's just I don't know. The pictures are it looks like kids rendering of like a gun. It has like two little eye hole piece of for shots. So for self defense, I mean, I expect the First Amendment. So, ooh.
All right. So this doesn't have any talkies, but yeah, open it up. Looks like a thick first generation iPhone, and folds out, and you got the handle, and you got the trigger, and you got your 2 shots. Does they show it firing?
Does it not work as a gun?
No, it does.
I mean, I'm sorry. Does it not work as a phone?
No, it's not a phone.
Oh,
yeah.
That's just a cell phone looking at. That's actually.
Oh, here we go.
The grip is basically a piece of sheet metal, but it's actually fairly comfortable whenever you shoot. I would suggest, while we're on the subject of grip, that when you shoot this thing, I wouldn't ride it too high. I noticed that I kind of got popped if I rode it too close to kind of the receiver portion. If you those rounds, both of them go off. Accuracy was fine, I guess about as good as any other double-action only 380. You could hit a man-sized target very easily within the X at 7 yards. So this would work for its intended purpose.
380
in terms of accuracy.
is a.
Well, comparing this to other 380 offerings on the market, I compared this to my car 380, and this device feels like it's heavier and feels certainly larger. Even when it's closed up like this, the car might be.
Yeah, because. Hold on. So I assume if you have this, you have to have a permit for it anyway, and likely a conceal and carry. So why not just carry a gun? You're going through all this trouble. That phone, I'm sure, is super heavy, like a gun. So if you're going to go through all this trouble, if you're walking through a bad part of town late at night, and you pretend that you're talking on this thing, it's like da 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 da, and then all of a sudden, I just carry a gun. That's all I gotta say.
You got. Carry a gun. Brought to you by the NRA. Yeah. Yeah. I know it says 2 bullets. I think it's supposed to be. You think then that's just meant for home then?
Well, yes, that makes sense. But then why not just have a gun?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. But the 2 shots. It's not meant for a shootout. It's meant to lay down some fire and then get the hell out of here. So it's for like you said, close quarter self defense. But
I'm assuming someone who wants to buy a gun for the first time probably shouldn't buy this. It sounds like something a gun enthusiast would want to have or something.
Well, I think it's just more novelty factor.
Yeah.
Also, this is like remember the movie Maverick?
A long time ago, yes.
Jodie Foster, she had a little gun like this that was in like a garter.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those 2-shot little things where it's funny. I mean, it'll do damage.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, you should get one.
I'm
test it out for the show for the LOLs. Yeah,
I'll try a regular one first.
All right. What's next?
All right. From the New York Post, $77 million in cocaine seized, the largest bust in years. Which obviously I love the story because I think all I'm thinking about is obviously my favorite movies was the Goodfellas. Casino stuff, like Scarface, just like, a shipping container that has 3,200 pounds of Colombian cocaine was seized. Like, you gotta think, there's gonna be some people who are gonna die over this. Like, for them to get caught, whoever was supposed to be bought off, whoever was supposed to get this shipment stuff in. I mean, there's gonna be some people in trouble for that.
You say 77 pounds?
No, 3,200 pounds.
Oh.
Which is worth $77 million.
Oh. That'll do
So
it.
they opened up the container. They found 60 burlap sacks, packed to the brim, wrapped with bricks of cocaine, nestled along several containers of dried fruit.
Now, when I was watching Narcos, which, is like a slightly fictionalized, docu-series, sure. But sometimes they would do is that they would intentionally have some loads busted, and that's what she said. Just to give the cops a win, sort of let the heat die down a little bit, but it would always be like very small. Like they would give up 20 kilos to move 200 or something like that, right? But with this, I think this is the F up.
Let's see some of the quotes here of this article. This is 100 times bigger than the French Connection, said Insider, invoking the infamous 1970s heroin smuggling scheme. But it's the second largest seizure in the port's history, the biggest being back in 1994 but it's dwarfed because 1994, 6,600 pounds of Colombian cocaine was found in a shipment of roofing materials. Roofing materials, that's funny.
Seems like a lot. All right, and that's the news.
The news with Uncle Nick.
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Nick, we're going to see Disney on Ice this weekend.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be awesome. Taking the kid. It's going to be a good time. We'll have a full recap next week and whatnot. Oh, as well as Nick's Bigarla, his St. Patty's Day. What are your plans?
I'm going to go to Gabe's at the park in St. Paul, friends bar establishment, which I love going to. They're having stuff going on Saturday and a little bit on Sunday, so I might do a little bit of partying on Disney on Ice. So this should be fun.
I've seen him on network TV. He's seen him on the streets. He's always got a great big smile.
He's looking kinda neat.
He has short hair and glasses and other things that aren't so short. He is very kind.
And this I will retort.
Oh, I hear he is a nice guy. He dresses really well.
The tall guy on his show is funny.
And the black guy's really swell. But let's not forget his bald friend, because he's really good.
Sure, he's got lots of money.
You'll never catch him in the hood.
I love Wayne Brady. He's very non-threatening. Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Man, like the Wayne Brady Chappelle show sketch still speaks to me. It's amazing. But if you enjoy the show, tell a friend, spread the word, add to the Dromey Homie Army. Big thanks to producer Allie for making us so stupid today. But for Nick, I'm Andy saying Annyeong, sayonara, and bye-bye. Talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to Bowl with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.